Well, I did a little shopping this week at a supply place called Rio Grande. Once in a while I buy things off of them. Their prices tend to be a little bit higher than I like on some products and better on others, but I was in there looking for a few things and I came across a few products that I've never used before. So I thought I would give them a try here today on a stone. Now, I couldn't see who this product is made by, but from my research, it looks like it might be a 3M product, or it might just be that the back of it is 3M. There's no marking on the actual sheet that it is. This is a plasticky type back, whether it's nylon or whatever it is. So I would imagine that's probably the 3M part of it. And it's got a micro film on the front. This is marked as 100 micron here, which would be about 125 grit. So what I did was I took that particular thing came with 10 sheets. So I cut a couple of circles out of this material, and I did a quick test with this. It smoothed down a little bit from the quick test I did, but I want to give this a test on today's project for a finished piece and see how it works out. And then I also bought something new that I've never tried before. Now, you folks have probably seen me use the Ultra Laps, which are a plastic film lap charged with cerium oxide that I use on flat surfaces for a final polish on my pieces. If I'm doing a curved surface, I will often use leather with cerium oxide for quartzes, for agates and things. But I came across this product here called Durable Final Polishing Pad. I've never used one of these before, so I thought that we would give this one a try today. Now, this is very stiff. And very coarse feeling. It's got a cardboardy back that you can peel away and stick down, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wet it and stick it down so it doesn't slide on the master lap. Now, I did do a little checking on this particular product, and I've seen positive reviews on it and negative reviews on it. One person that was using it on opals apparently, and actually may not have been durable, it may have been high-tech's diamond lap. I don't remember where I saw the review, or I may have seen the review on Rio Grande for this product, so don't hold me to what I'm about to say here. But what I did read, which both those products are looking pretty similar, this fellow was using it on opals, and this coarse grit that's here was actually scratching his opals. So I don't know how this is going to work out. We're going to give it a try. I want to see how that product works out, because that looks like it's going to be a little bit more durable than those Ultra Laps. Now, I have picked out this rock here. When I first looked at this, I thought it was this was bloodstone. It's green with red spots going through it. But after looking at it closely, I see that this is actually a moss agate, and probably with some mineral oxides in it that's leaving the red spots. But we can see clear patches in this all over the place here, and the green moss running all through it. I see some fractures and stuff going through it, so I don't know how well this is going to work. But this is a test stone anyway, because I'm going to be testing it on these new products. Now, I want to do kind of a free form. I've marked out, it seems like all these pieces that I'm finding in here are almost a triangular shape, but I don't want to waste any of the materials, so it's going to be kind of offset at the top and then more of a standard shape going down the sides, just so I can capture as much of the stone as possible. So I'm going to start off with 100 hard wheel, 100 grit diamond hard wheel, just to get my rough shape. And then I'm going to switch over to this 100 micron that's kind of like a sandpaper almost, and do my shaping with that and see how that works out for me before I move on to some of my other wheels. So let me get going. Let me get this set up. I'll get going, and like I've been doing recently, I'll probably speed this video up and give you some music to listen to. Well, I've just finished polishing the back of this stone. I still need to do the whole top of it, going back and rounding this off more and getting scratches out of it. But this back I polished using that durable lap that's supposed to put a final polish on it. And as you can see, it did put a nice polish on it. The problem is that, and I don't know if this is as a result of, you can see a lot of spots on the back of the stone where it's got pockets. In other words, it's got pitting from whatever is inside the stone that's come to the surface. And even though this polished well, it's got scratches all over the back of it. So the person that said that it scratched their opals may very well have been correct. So I think I'm happy with the polish. I'm just not happy with the fact that it scratched it after I went through all that work. Now, the scratches are really minor. They're very hard to see. You probably can't see it here on the camera. I was seeing it under 10 power magnification, but they are there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and clean this stone up. I'm going to get rid of that lap there, and I'm going to hit this one more time, only with the ultra laps and some cerium oxide. And even though that really should not take out the scratches, I'm going to see if it helps improve it at all to get a better shine, or maybe eliminate some of the scratches. So that's what I'm going to do next on it. But again, at this point, I stopped to discuss this because I am happy with the polish. I'm not sure if the scratches have come from stuff being pulled from all these little pockets that are at the surface here, or whether it's because of that coarse wheel. And that wheel is very coarse. It's like a really rough piece of rawhide texture on it. So I don't know if that's what did it or not. But again, I'm going to go and try this with cerium oxide and the ultra lap, and then my next step afterwards will be dopping this up and then doing the top of this stone. So bear with me and we will get started. Okay, well, I ran this back on the Ultra Lap, which is a fine film that's impregnated with cerium oxide. And I add extra cerium oxide to the surface because these are pretty worn that I have here. But I decided to give this back an extra polish using that. And the area that the scratches were showing up in were in this clear area here, and down along here, scratches were showing up with that other lap that I did, and they're now gone. Now I did not clean the stone yet, and all these little pink spots that you see, if you can see these, all over this stone here, those are all little pockets that have come to the surface, and the cerium oxide is embedded in those now, and along the edge here as well, which I started giving a little bit of a polish to. So there's a lot of pockets that have come to the surface, and that may very well be what caused the scratching from that other lap. But with this particular lap, it looks like it's come out just fine. So I'm going to get this back good and clean, and it's probably going to have to sit in soapy water for a day to get all that cerium oxide out there, because my dop stick is not going to stick to this with that stuff on there. And once I have that set up, I will come back once it's dopped up, and I will finish doming the top of this stone and getting a polish on this. Now, what I may do is I may try that durable lap again on the top, since this is a curved surface. But this has got lots of pockets too that have come to the surface, just like on the back here. So I don't know, we'll give it a try with the durable and see if it scratches on the top. And if not, well, then I will use that for domed surfaces. If it does, well, then I will switch over to a leather lap with the cerium oxide. So just wanted to show you where I'm at this point, folks. And as soon as I get this stone good and clean, then I will dop it up and work on the front. Well, I am finished with this one. Very pretty stone. This is a moss agate. Green moss going all through it. I don't know how well I can get that coloring to come in, but it has got moss going all through it. Did wind up with some issues. You probably saw at the very end there that I switched over from that polishing pad that I bought to test, and I went to a leather lap. Now, I did that just because I wanted to see if there would have been a difference in the actual polish between the two. And yeah, the leather lap with cerium oxide did tend to bring up a little bit higher polish, but that polishing pad really did do a decent job. Now, the one issue that I did have, and you might be able to see it on this stone, all through the stone, sides, back, all that moss came to the surface and broke the surface. Now, I didn't show it on the video, but I went all the way back to the beginning and recut this stone just to see if I could get past what that was. And I couldn't, but that's okay. It's a beautiful stone. I'm happy with it. It wound up getting a really nice polish on it. And I think I'm real happy with that one. Now, it did become quite a bit thinner than I started with because of me having to go back and recut it. But I love moss and plume agates. And it's nice to have this example too. Got some clear pocket going on through here. Some of this orangey color, rusty brown color. It's got little red streaks going through it, but this is not a a bloodstone, which is what I originally thought it was. But as I got cutting, I could see that. But it's a pretty stone, and I am happy with it, even though the surface did wind up having all these little pockets that came to the surface. It's still a beautiful stone, and I am very happy with it. Okay, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this new gemstone that I cut. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love to hear your comments. I would really enjoy learning what you folks enjoy and what you like. Okay, until next time, remember to take a little time to enjoy all that Mother Nature has to offer. Rock on.